just want to win a game, and just I don't even care if I play worse as long as we win.
You got these rave reviews around the country for what a great debut it was.
Oh, thank
How
you.
do you assess when you took a look at it?
Kind of to the previous question, we lost. So, I mean, if I could play worse and win, then I'd take that every time.
How's your confidence level? Because I'm sure before this last game you study the game and say, okay, in this situation I'll do this and this. But now that you've actually done it and you have some proof in your footing and some success on the field, what's your confidence level moving forward?
I'm a very confident person. I mean, even if I have no reason to, I'll find a way to fool myself into going out there with full confidence that we're going to win every single game we play. Every time I step on the field, I expect to throw a touchdown or hand off a touchdown or lead the team in the end zone in some way. And in my head, if I don't, it's a surprise and something's wrong and we got to fix it so that we do next time.
You did, and to add to what I asked, there must have been some things that you said, I could have done that better, I could have done this better.
I mean, I could have fit Christian in the back of the end zone.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, so, I mean, things like that, absolutely.
You were asked about the drops in the game. Positive, do you think you'll always be that way, or do you think if you go into this league year after year where you need to be at one point, you're not going to be so excellent?
I mean, I kind of said after the game that, like, once I'm not smiling, you guys should be worried. So I'm a happy guy. I'm very demanding of my team as I expect them to be of me. I'm always a positivity guy, and I will continue to be.
What was your receiver's reaction after the game? Did they apologize? I mean, there was an extraordinary amount of drops. Like, what was their message to you, if any, after the game this week?
We're just trying to beat San Francisco. I mean, got in the locker room, and regardless of who did whatever, I mean, I blew some too, and everyone's like, screw it, next week, let's roll.
Josh, can you go back to your relation with Christian Kirk? Football camps, and you guys have gone to 3 visits together. And what is it like just coming in part of that rookie class?
Almost got him to UCLA. But I've known him for a really long time. I think we're building that connection. And like anything, it just comes with repetitions. And I think with every receiver, every position, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, take a step every week and hopefully get our first win next week. But with Christian in particular, he's a really good buddy. And we live in the same building. And hopefully we'll be together for a long time.
Now that you have a full game under your belt, do you expect the 49ers to do a little bit different things to you because now they think they might know a little bit more of Josh Rosen than perhaps last week with the Seahawks?
I mean, I think teams will always have wrinkles for certain things they think they can take advantage of. And if they think they can take advantage of me, I think we'll be ready on the field to make some game time adjustments.
Where'd that confidence come from? Either, one time, one week, like, where'd that confidence come from?
I don't know. I mean, growing up in youth sports, playing tennis and all that, like, you kind of have to, like, you're by yourself out there, so you always just got to be confident. And I mean, even if you're not, you at least have to kind of play the part and try to keep pushing until something good happens. Then you start to gain it and keep going. So I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of who I am. I'm not even football, but anything. I'm very confident in what I do, even if I'm not. I'll act like I am.
JJ had that drop. He's only had 1 catch so far, but what does his elite speed bring to the offense? Does it make them have to watch for a guy like that? Does it open up other things underneath?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speed's really very, very dangerous, and you kind of see in the NFL. I mean, even in college, everyone's usually got at least like one dude that will just terrify you for sheer speed, and that'll create separation. That'll help if you get hot and hit a couple deep balls. It'll open up a lot of other guys. I mean, even just one-on-one, you'll see them play way further off than they need to, and if they come up, you can run by them. So I mean, it offers a lot of variety in what you can do.
Chad left the ball.
Yeah, I did pick it up, but we're figuring out. I'm seeing if you can like cut it in half or something. Get like one side painted and the other, but we'll figure it out.
Do you have a certain feeling now that you're stopping on the ground as a starting quarterback in the NFL now? It's just do the job and see where it goes. And you have a big journey kind of
Yeah, I mean, my mindset definitely did like change a little bit when you're like, okay, like we got 14 more weeks of physical hard football, and it's longer than I didn't start from day one, and it's still even longer than a college season. So just from the physical perspective, you definitely do kind of have to change my mindset a little bit and like, all right, we're really gonna buckle down here and get ready for the long haul. So, but for the most part, in terms of preparation, everything, I haven't changed what I do. I'm preparing every single week like I'm the starter, but it's going to be a long season. It's going to be the longest I've ever had in my lifetime, so I'm excited to see how it goes. Yeah, hopefully.
What do you remember from that bowl meeting you played up there at
Levi Stadium. We went up quick. Remember I had a touchdown to Nate Starks, Kate opened a post, went up quick, and they kind of came back into the game. They some really good D linemen playing Nebraska. Having like a bunch of flashbacks right now, but yeah, threw a pick going in half on the sideline, called it NASCAR. Threw Hail Mary at the end as another pick, but whatever. We'll have a better result.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
He asked the follow-up, but yeah, where's that? So is this the last question Bob Baum's ever going to ask him?
Well, if I had to die for every time that was said.
Just good.
Ben Wickery, Fitzgerald, Golden, and Peters did not practice today. They're day-to-day. I expect all those guys to play on Sunday. Pretty good practice today, good tempo, good sense of urgency. Guys were flying around, they were into it. And with that, I'll take your questions.
Golden, just tender knee?
Just tender knee. Just wanted to give him a day. Again, bringing him back, you still just don't want to put a lot on him, So being able to give him that day today, I think is good. He'll be ready to go tomorrow.
When a team hits on a rookie quarterback, cap-wise, how does that help you or an organization build the rest of the roster? And did you see the benefits of that in Carolina with Cam?
Can I quickly answer your question and then try to get back into what I call the now, because we're worrying about this year. But when you do have a guy like that and you know he's going to be here for a while, it gives you options right there from a cap standpoint to be able to go and get other guys. But right now, we're focused on the guys that we do have, trying to make these guys better each and every day, and trying to win football games now. But that is a benefit.
Will you open things up for Josh even more?
We're going to continue to give Josh what he can handle. I think, again, he gives us the opportunity to be able to do a lot of things on the offensive side of the ball. And I think you guys saw that a little bit on Sunday, just with the boots, getting outside the pocket, all those things. And his athleticism to be able to avoid the rush a little bit and buy time to get the ball down the field. So we want to try to make sure that we give him everything that he can handle, and most importantly, not try to restrict him at all.
How important was it for him, Steve, to not show any bad emotion on the drops and to stay positive? You've remarkably positive things about that.
It shows a lot to his maturity, the kind of person he is. We know what kind of player he is, but just the kind of person, and you need that in your quarterback, not to get frustrated because, again, he's counting on those guys, and those guys are going to bounce back this week. One of the encouraging things, I talked to Phil on Monday, after the game, of course, we sat down and talked, and, he said Josh came up to him after the game, and here's an older guy, veteran guy, and he's getting encouraged by a rookie quarterback. So it's just speak volumes for what Josh can do for this team, not only on the field but off.
You've talked a lot of times about what you've seen from Josh all offseason and the kind of things he does on the field that are maybe beyond his years. But when you watch the tape of this game Did anything come across where you were a little surprised he was as good at something or other?
Just some of his throws. When you look at the two down the stretch with Ricky, those are phenomenal. You know, ball placement, accuracy, you know, in the coverage, and the confidence to be able to put it there. You know, very impressive.
How did the 49ers look post-Garoppolo, Coach?
You know, I tell you, they look good. You know, the two running backs they have, Breida, 22, Morris, 46. McKinnon, they lost. They haven't missed a beat. You know, they're still running the football well. You know, Garoppolo went down. Bethel came in against Kansas City. The next play, threw a touchdown. You know, so we can't sit here and say who's not in there. Those guys are a good football team. They trending forward just like we trying to, and they trying to get on track just like we are. So we can't take them lightly, and neither can they take us lightly. It's the NFL, and you got to be ready to play football.
Steve, when you draft a guy like Josh in the first round and back up Christian in the second round, is it thinking those two could form kind of a special bond for the next few years?
Also throw Mason in there as well. You know, when you look at those three guys and what we're doing, you can add Chase in there also. I thought, you know, we did a tremendous job in hitting in the draft this year and building what we consider to be the future on offense. And those guys right here are learning. They're learning early, and they're going to continue to get the reps to get better.
You mentioned how Josh talked to Phil. Did you talk to Phil at all after those misses, or as a veteran kicker, and you know he's been through this before, you just kind of let him be how he needs to be after a game like that?
Yeah, I don't really think you approach kickers nor quarterbacks in certain situations like that. You know, you let them work through the process. And as I said, you know, I called them up on Monday. We sat down. We talked a little bit and, you know, expressed some things. But during the game itself, no.
Josh obviously has shown the ability to throw it deep, and JJ would kind of seem to factor in there. High-profile drop and only has one catch, but is he a guy that could make a big impact on this offense with what Josh brings?
He can, you know. I'm not down on JJ nor the other receivers, you know. I think those guys are improving. You look at Chad, but JJ, yeah, he's a major part of that, being able to take the top off, as we call it, you know, with his speed. So that's a weapon that we like.
What stood out most about Josh's confidence over the last couple of weeks?
Well, really his ability to not let things phase him, you know. Of course, a lot of criticism came when I threw him in the game at that particular moment, but I'm not worried about the outside noise. I know what he can handle. I know how he's wired in a short period of time of being around him, and he showed that, you know, going into the game last week. So it just filters throughout the team, you know, his confidence.
He said that he's confident, even when he hasn't got reason to be confident. Are guys like that, is that just something that you think they're born with?
You know, you really have to go back into his background, a lot, I guess, how he was raised and his values and the things that his parents instilled in him. But, you know, he is wired that way, and it's great to have that quality, particularly at that position.
At a certain point when you realize that Josh Bynes, you just wanted to have him on the field as much as possible, did he do anything to really stand out as far as keeping everybody?
When you look at Josh, the first thing that comes out, he's just smart. You know, Josh gets everybody aligned. And that's important within our defense, you know, seeing certain adjustments and checks and being able to get either the front or the secondary in the right position. That's what he brings, and that's the reason why he's out there.
Coach, since you've named him the starter, you talked about his arm strength and his confidence, but is there one thing in particular that you learned about him that you didn't know this past week and a half?
Well, that's a hard question, really, Cameron. But I guess just being in the moment. You know, one example was clock was running down. We were about to get him to lay up a game. I called timeout. And after that series, he was coming over to the sideline. He said, "Coach, I got it. I'm looking at the play clock. You know, I trust me, I got it." So just, again, in that moment, just that confidence to say, you know what, let him go play. He's in control. Hey, I love it. I love the confidence. I love, you know, that he's in control. So I'm all for it.
Coach, right out of the Redskins game, you came out and took accountability right out of the gate. Said it starts with me. Through 4 games, what are some areas that you'd like to see the coaching staff improve on game day or even during practice week?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and focus on anything. I like to give a broad perspective. Defensively, we got to tackle better. You know, is that coaching? Yes, a little bit. Is it accountability on their part? Yes. You know, finishing, making plays on the ball. All right, we don't coach drops. You know, guys in position like that, wide open, we got to finish those. And just from a protection standpoint, you know, make sure that we communicate, ID the Mike linebacker, get everybody on the same page, and protect and allow the quarterback to go through his progression. So, not so much the coaches. Again, coaches and players all being accountable for what we need to get done.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Got to 135 in there.